Purebred Spanish horse. The purebred Spanish horse is endowed with great physical harmony and beauty. With a live adult weight between 400 to 500 kilos and a height at the withers of 155 to 165 centimeters, or 15.2 to 16.2 hands. Body length is equal to or slightly greater than the wither height. The body will actually fit into a square or rectangle, with the base being slightly longer than the height. And a subconvex facial profile. Both the forehead and face, as well as other body areas, neck, dorsal lumbar line, croup, and the angulation of the legs. In terms of body balance, the withers should be slightly higher than the croup. The vertical lines going through the center of the withers and in front of the point of hip divide the trunk into 3 equal parts. And the depth of the trunk is slightly shorter, 8 to 10 centimeters, than the point of elbow to the ground. Being a late developing breed, the withers could be the same height as the croup in youngsters. Or slightly lower. The height of the forelegs could be greater than the depth of the thorax. The hind leg could be very long, and the hock behind the vertical from the point of buttocks. And the pasterns may be slightly longer and finer. It is a breed with a noticeable sexual dimorphism, both generally such as in the head, neck, the croup, among other body regions. Head. The head, the most important area of the breed type point of view, is proportional to the size of the body, and its average length is between 60 and 65 centimeters. Not very deep. Lean with a fine coat and clean, clear joints. There are obvious differences between the sexes: shorter, deeper, and broader in the males, and longer and narrower in the females, with minimum frontal nasal convexity. The ears are medium size, proportionate to the size of the head. very motile, well inserted, parallel, and forward-looking. The forehead is rather broad. The length of the head is 2 times its width. Lively, triangular, expressive eyes with orbital arches that do not stand out in front of the frontal profile. A relatively long, moderately narrow face, more so in the females, that is subconvex and clean. Tapering nose, smoothly curving from the face. Long and clear nostrils. Ample clean cheeks with a long, discreetly arched edge. Neck. Neck between 70 and 80 centimeters long. Muscled. With a neat throat. Inserted into the trunk, above the point of shoulder. With a fine upper edge. Curving upwards from the withers to the poll. Less curved and thinner in the mares. The insertion of the neck is deep into the trunk, and less so at the head. A thick silky mane. Body. Proportionate and robust trunk. Slightly wide and clear withers, with a smooth prolongation of the dorsal line. Consistent muscled back, almost straight. Short, broad, well-muscled loins, slightly arched and raising slightly towards the croup, well joined to the back and the croup. Croup. Well-proportioned croup, 30 to 35% of the height at the withers. Slightly longer than wide, somewhat wider in mares. Rounded and slightly sloping, with a length of 50 to 55 centimeters. A width at the front similar to the length, 50 to 55 centimeters. And an angle of 20 to 25 degrees. With the top line parallel to the line from the point of hip to the point of buttocks. A width to the rear of 15 to 20 centimeters. Viewed from behind, slightly rounded in shape, with a slope from the croup to the point of hips, with no visible depression in the central area. Tail is set in below the hip line. With a strong dock well set between the ischium. Abundantly populated with long and sometimes curly hair. Chest. Broad chest. Well muscled and deep. Moderately arched ribs. Long and deep. Ample flanks. correct abdomen. Front limbs. Long, muscled, and sloping shoulders. Strong, well-angled arm. Strong forearm of average length. Well-developed, clean knee. Well-proportioned cannon bone. And well-marked large tendon. Clean, clear fetlocks with little hair. Pasterns with good conformation, slope and angle of proportional length. Compact, well-developed hoofs of equal balanced size. Likewise, they must be correctly aligned both when viewed from the front and side, hind limbs, muscled thigh, buttocks slightly arched and well muscled, long hind leg, strong, clean, and broad hock. The angle of the hock could be slightly closed to facilitate elevated and collected movements. The body areas below the hock have identical characteristics to those indicated for the equivalent foreleg areas. As with the forelegs, the hind legs must be correctly aligned, both viewed laterally and from behind. Breed quality. Lastly, it is clear that all of these horses are purebred Spanish horses. Purebred Spanish horse.